Hey, good morning. Happy Trash Day. Welcome to Hobby Evolution. It is Wednesday, Trash Day. Trash only. It is on the curb. Took it out this morning when I woke up. Um, so trash is at the curb. Snow is coming. Fresh haircut. Somewhat fresh shave. I shaved on Sunday and still doesn't even look like I've grown any stubble. Jenny is with us. Travel not advised. Snowmageddon is coming. We are doomed, Victor. We are doomed. We have air temperature of 0 right now. I don't know what the wind chill is. I looked. We were watching not a Christmas movie. I've watched enough of those in the last week and a half. We were watching The White Lotus, my wife and I, last night, and I was looking at the forecast for the next few days, and I went to AccuWeather, and I wanted to see what the wind chills, because so we're supposed to get like literally a blizzard coming in, potentially a foot of snow, but even worse, like a foot. If you're from the south, you're like, oh my God, a foot of snow. But up here, that's like, it's like not like every week, but we get a foot of snow maybe a couple times a year. So the snow's not an issue outside of me having to fire up the snowblower and go out and blow it. It's the wind, especially in the rural areas, or if you're traveling, like many people will be this week. We have like 30, 40, 50 mile per hour winds, along with anywhere from an inch to 300 inches of snow. It's hard to predict snowfall amounts. So I'm looking at the forecast from AccuWeather, and I'm looking at the wind chills, and I see this graph, and I see where 0 is. But then on like Friday, I see like 0's up here, but then like it's like a bar chart, and the wind chills on Friday are like way down here, like off the screen. And I'm like, how cold is that? So I scroll, minus 55 wind chill on Friday morning at 9 a.m. Minus 55, which coincides with Festivus. We'll air our grievances. It shouldn't be that flippin' cold on planet Earth. That's just ridiculous. So minus 55 wind chills are what they're predicting for Friday morning, along with potentially a foot of snow. The most recent forecast snowfall amounts are between, for my area, 4 to 8 inches, which is a walk in the park. When it gets to a foot, that's like, then it gets annoying. But I think just a little to our north, like if you're familiar with the Wisconsin Dells, they're supposed to get a foot. So of course it changed. Predicting snowfall amounts and it's all clickbait. Some of the meteorologists, and I much prefer the legit meteorologists, not the shock jock, where they will roll out the Euro models like a week in advance, where it shows we could get 65 inches of snow. And it's like, we've never seen anywhere close to 65 inches of snow. We're not getting 65 inches of snow. And then, of course, we get 2 inches. Well, the Euro model was wrong. No shit, the Euro model was wrong. So yeah, and that's kind of what the Euro models and the whatever else models they use. I think there was like a 60 inches, and it's like, no, that's not going to happen. You're just getting people freaked out. They're going to go to Walmart and they're going to fill their carts with milk, bread, and eggs, which somebody tweeted to me. They're like, we call it the French toast storm. I have never heard of that. Living in the Midwest my entire life, 40 years, I have never heard, because Oh, everybody's going out to get milk, bread, and eggs. I've heard that. Like, and I worked at a grocery store in high school, so I lived it. Milk, bread, and eggs. People coming. We're gonna get 3 inches of snow. Oh my God, we're gonna be trapped forever. We need to make sure we get 7 gallons of milk and 4 loaves of bread and 6 dozen eggs. And I think that when I type in Snowmageddon, it's like, oh man, I need to make sure I have baseball cards and beer. Beer's the important part. I had plenty of baseball cards, but it's like, I'm going to be homebound for what, 2 days? The roads are going to be clear. It's not like, I guess if it blows, it's going to blow. That's for sure. Wind wise, if it's going to be windy and blowing and blizzard like, maybe add another day that I'm homebound, which what's the difference to me? Like, I saw Kyle mention in the chat. We'll get to the chat real quick. Kyle says a couch person controls their own weather dial with a dial on the wall, and I do. When people say, "Oh, it's 75 where I'm at in Florida," it's like, well, it's 69 on the couch. And it's like being homebound for a snowstorm. It's just, at least right now, I have the option of going out and getting milk, bread, and eggs and beer and baseball cards. Now on Friday, I guess I still have the option, but I'm risking my life. And we don't want to do that for baseball cards and beer, milk, bread, and eggs. So I thought that was great. The French toast storm, because you're going out, everybody's buying milk, bread, and eggs. That was clever, whoever came up with that. And I'm sure that's probably been a saying for 50 years plus. But I thought, I've never heard that before. And milk, bread, and eggs was like, I lived it working at the grocery store, living in the Midwest, listening to my dad jokes, my dad's dad jokes. I'd never heard it called a French toast storm. So yeah, but for me, it's no different. It's like Kyle said, in my house, as long as the thermostat's working, I'm cool. And I'm home every day anyway. So it's like, now I just don't have the option of leaving the house. So nothing changes, no snow days for me. The show must go on, which I'm hoping it affects eBay sales in a positive way. Because here in the Midwest, it's Christmas week. So people are probably, it's kind of, if you're in the office, this week is just kind of, this may be the last productive day of work at an office job, Wednesday, the 21st. Because by Thursday, you're like, oh, it's almost Friday. And then Friday, it's like, hey, it's Friday before Christmas. And there ain't nothing going on at the office. So this might be the last productive day if you're in an office. So people are winding down. Now they're going to be stuck at home. If you're in the Midwest, especially the upper Midwest, and I mean, even down in like Florida, they have falling iguana warnings, which when it gets to a certain temperature down in Florida, the iguanas, they're like frozen. They don't die, but they're like paralyzed and they fall out of trees, literally fall out of trees. So I think it's going to be in like the 30s and 40s throughout Florida. So people in Florida, that's like, for people in Florida, especially Miami, South Florida, 40 degrees is like our 50 below zero. It's all relative. So people in South Florida, when it hits 40 degrees this week, are going to be homebound. They don't have fireplaces to warm up with. They'll be wearing parkas in the living room on the couch, hopefully shopping my eBay store, which, by the way, the link to my eBay store is in the description. It's been a good week of sales on eBay, which I, to be honest, I wasn't really expecting. December's been a much better month than I was expecting. And I know the first few days it did start out really well. And it was the first week it was pacing to be one of my top 5 months. And now I think it's still pacing to be, I think, number 4 for the year. So December may rank number 4 in monthly sales for 2022. My sales dollars are up 19%. That's in the last 30 days. My traffic is impression-wise is about even, 0.1% in the green. So we'll call that even. Page views are up 2%. Sales conversion rate's still near 10%, just under 10%, 9.8%. So sales are doing well on eBay. A lot of stuff is selling. Last 5 sales. Let's do a last 5 sales, and then I'll get to the chat. We're only 10 minutes in. So last 5 sales out of my eBay store. I haven't done this in a while. This is always fun. We've got right before I went live, I sold a 2014 Topps Valor Aaron Murray, numbered out of 299. So Aaron Murray, wow, football is selling, and these are all different buyers. 1989 Pro Set, Doug Williams, 89 Pro Set has been sneaky good. And I sold a Keith Millard of the Minnesota Vikings, just single sale. This was a single sale, Doug Williams. So it's not just stars. I'm selling a lot of commons out of the 89 Pro Set football set. Number 3, 1996 Upper Deck Lawrence Williams rookie card. Then I sold a purple refractor from this year's Chrome update of Connor Joe from the Colorado Rockies. And then a Luis Robert 2020 Topps update Turkey Red rookie. So, and then I had a big order right before that. Looks like a bunch of Phillies cards, bunch of Phillies and Orioles cards sold. So that was a nice big order. That was 7, 16. So what's that? 23. Oh, there's more. 30. So 30 card order. That was nice. So let's go into the chat. Let's see. Jenny says travel not advised the next 3 days in Minnesota. Victor says, good morning. We are doomed starting tomorrow. Snow, gusting wind, and negative wind chills. It's negative 13 where Jenny's at, 10 inches of snow. Rich says, good morning. Hit the like, subscribe, and all that jazz. Thank you, Uncle Rich. Dan is in the house. What's up, Dan? Victor, good morning and happy holiday week. We forgot to light the menorah last night. So my wife, so the first night of Hanukkah was, I'm sure she loves me talking about this. The first night of Hanukkah was, Rich can help me out, Sunday night, I believe. Yes, Sunday. And my wife got home late Monday night. So it's like, we're not going to get home at midnight and light the menorah. I'm like, oh, I'll get the menorah and the candles out ready. Like I didn't light it. But I was going to get it out. And then I'm like, we'll just get it out when we get ready to light the candles. So my wife was at the store and she said, do you want fish or chicken tonight? And she's like, I'm sure you haven't had a good meal in a while. And I'm like, I've had a lot of pizza, frozen pizza. I've had like 3 different kinds of frozen pizza. I've had, what did I order for the Couch People Christmas party? Rosati's. That was delicious. And I had that the next couple days. I ate a lot of pizza. So I'm like, you know what? I'm in the mood for fish. Because I think I ate, well, I had chicken wing. I ordered wings, but that's not really the chicken she was referring to. So I'm like, you know what? We have chicken a lot. Let's do fish. And I'm tired. We do like we have like salmon. It's not like we schedule salmon Sundays. It's Sunday. Let's have salmon, which I guess we just don't call it. I call it salmon Sundays. I also call us couch people. So I'm like, I'm not in the mood for salmon. So she's like, well, they have catfish, tilapia, salmon. And I'm like, oh, catfish sounds good. Now, I've never had catfish, like not deep fried. And I don't even know if you can eat catfish. No, I mean, I'm sure you can, but is it good? Probably not. So I'm like, is there a way to make catfish not deep fried? And would it be good? So she's like, I don't know. I don't want to look. So I'm like, okay, I'll have tilapia. So she had salmon. I had tilapia. It was good. Lemon pepper tilapia. And then it's like 10 o'clock and I'm getting, actually, it was not 10 o'clock because it was like 9 o'clock because I was going to bed at 9:15. It's 9 o'clock and I'm getting ready for bed. And I'm like, you know what? We didn't light the menorah. And she's like, oh shit. Maybe we'll hit the 4th night of Hanukkah. Let's see. Dislike for the upcoming blizzards. Absolutely. I like a good blizzard, but I don't want it affecting holiday travel. because we've all seen the Christmas movies where there's a blizzard and it shuts down, and Candace Cameron gets stuck in a small village and falls in love with the local handyman. It happens in every Hallmark movie. So fortunately, we're not doing any traveling, but my mom is supposed to be driving up from Illinois. It's not supposed to hit. I think they're scheduled. Their forecast is like 2 to 4 inches, but the further north you get, the worse it gets. And so driving 3 hours north is going to be dicey. So her plan was coming in Saturday, Christmas Eve, which is like the end of it, but it's still like travel is not advised for Saturday because of the wind. So I think our storm is supposed to hit tonight, like overnight tonight into Thursday. And then Friday is supposed to be like when it's just windy as all hell and like blizzard conditions because of the blowing snow. So Friday and then into Saturday. So I think our winter weather advisory runs through, I think either Saturday morning or Saturday night. I can't remember. So it's kind of like just wait and see. We'll just wait and see and play it by ear. We're going to play it by ear. Maybe it's better if she comes up Christmas morning. Maybe it'll be okay. You know how winter storms can go. It may not be a big storm after all. Who knows? Paige and Deanie Bean, what's up? Good morning to you. Clark is with us. What's happening? Dan crossed the 10,000 listings by using Card Dealer Pro and my new scanner. That's awesome. I love it. I logged up. I've been doing so much shipping. I've been going to the post office twice a day about the last week because I've been shipping so much, which is good. That's the goal. I'd rather be busy shipping and running to the post office than just listing all day. But I do want to get a day where I just list 1,000 or more cards. But I was able to get, I did Card Dealer Pro. I did a batch of 77 Topps baseball. Some of them were in a lot worse condition. I threw them on there. Pictures are there. So I did about 125 1977 Topps baseball, mostly commons, some minor stars. Put those in from Card Dealer Pro. And then last night on the couch, I listed, I don't know, maybe 20 cards, did some Heritage Miners autographs, did some basketball cards that I was going to auction. But then after seeing how terrible the auctions went, I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I am going to comp, and I'll just do it slowly. And then I think, what else did I do? That's it. But this box over here, where is it? Oh, that box with the lid like popping out. I was looking for something in that box right before I went on this morning, and I pulled that box off, and I'm like, I think these are some of like the dollar cards I've bought at like card shows that I just haven't got around to listing, or maybe there was like some Jordan Love rookies, and it's like, I'm just going to sit on these. They were $1. I'm going to sit on them for, if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt or Love comes in and boom, I have them. So I'm looking through, there was a couple Jordan Loves, a couple like just crappy autos. And then all of a sudden I get to like more basketball, but it's like good. It's like really good basketball. Not really. Well, it might be really good. There were some 90s inserts in there. I don't know if they're those 90s inserts, but there were a bunch of Jordans, a bunch of LeBrons. What else was in there? There's some vintage hockey in really nice condition. It was from a Goodwill pallet, from one of the recent Goodwill pallets. So it's like, oh crap, I forgot. And I have so many like good stuff from Goodwill pallets that are just sitting in boxes somewhere, that I need to go through and dig out. Let's see. Kyle says a couch person controls her own weather with the dial on the wall. Jenny says this storm will be an issue. Travel not advised in the upper Midwest. It will impact mail delivery, planes. Yeah, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be an absolute mess. Maybe they made a typo on that 55. Maybe it was supposed to be 5. I don't think so. I wish, I hope that's the case. We'll see. Let's see. I'm not on StreamYard, so I can't. It's probably now. It's kind of like forecast when you go look. It's like yesterday it's minus 55, and today it's going to be, like Dan said, minus 5. Let's take a look. Madison, Wisconsin. On AccuWeather, we've got blizzard and winter storm warnings. Snowmageddon is on the way. Let's see. So, yeah, looks like we're still in line for 4 to 8 inches here in my area. Where's the forecast? Tomorrow's forecast. There was a graph. I was on my phone when I was looking this up last night. Today's forecast. I want like an extended forecast. Daily? Let's check that out. All right, they're going to track my cookies. Let's see. Friday, very windy and frigid. Let's check out Friday. Yeah, now it's negative 32 wind chills. Dangerously cold. So yeah, yesterday it was minus 55. Today it's minus 35. So there you go. Crappy weather. Let's see. Jenny says, plus plow drivers will be moving snow for 3 to 4 days with only 1 day being falling snow. Yeah, the drifting is like the worst. The blowing snow is the worst. Dean, what's happening? Good morning, Dean. If it does hit negative 50, you should do an outdoors video like Ty from Bench Clear does. Nah, I'll leave that to Ty. I'm not going outside. I am not going outside. But you will see, and I've done this before. You throw like a water. If you throw it out in the air, like you take tap water and you open the door and you throw it and it freezes before it hits the ground. That's when it's too damn cold. But I don't know. And here's the thing though, minus 50 wind chill is just what it's not like the air temperature. So if it's 0 and you throw water out, it's probably not going to freeze before it hits the ground because it's the air temperature that freezes the water, not the wind chill. So, and I think our what's the temperature Friday? I don't think it's going to be that cold to where it's going to freeze -5. So that's really effing cold. Anything below 0 is really effing cold. 0 to 32 is just effing cold. And then cold between 32 and 80. And then 80 to 90 is comfortable. And then anything above 90 is hot. So yeah, I don't think the freezing water. I wonder if there's any I sucked at science. I got some. There were some parent teacher conferences. We should do a day where I read my parent teacher conference. Would you like to? I don't have anything to talk about, and I think I know where. My mom gave me a tub of my school stuff, and I was a terrible student, and she kept my report cards where it said Bo doesn't pay attention in class. I can go in the other room, and they're down here in the basement, and we can read what teachers said about little boy Bo, and how terrible of a student he was in 4th grade. So I wasn't good at science, but I don't think that trick will work, throwing water into the air at -5. I don't think it's cold enough, even though it's really effing cold at -5. I don't think it's cold enough to freeze water by the time it hits the ground. I think you got to be 20 below 0 before that happens. Zach and Porter, what's happening? Good morning to you. Food chat, life is good. The old French toast forecast. Jenny says, I'm hoping it affects eBay sales in a positive way. Because Bo is bored with no shipping, right? Yeah, just give me more shipping. Just keep it coming. Let's see. Royals 417, we're supposed to get 3 inches. People will go crazy. And the thing is, we get foot of snow once or twice a year. And even if we get 3 inches forecast, people will still, there's a certain segment, even in 2022, that people will go crazy and they'll have to go get their ingredients for French toast. I love the French toast storm. I can't believe, has anybody heard that before? I have never heard that. And it's perfect. I have never heard that. Good morning, Boston Smoke. Paige and Deanie Bean. Dean is proud of his ham work for this mail day. Check out Paige and Deanie Bean's video. Paul Heath, what's happening? Good morning, Cooter. Mark, what's up? Good morning. Soon the countdown to pitchers and catchers will be in full effect. And I think I saw, actually, I don't think, I know I saw, I just don't know if I'm correct in the phrasing of this, but I believe today or maybe yesterday was the halfway point from the final out in the World Series to the first pitch at spring training. Like we're at the halfway point. We're at the halfway point to baseball. And I'm totally cool with that. Zach and Porter says Candace Cameron, and I'm sure this is Zach, not Porter. Porter probably doesn't know who Candace Cameron is, or he thinks she's just an old mom, showing our age. Candace Cameron was my first crush as a 4th or 5th grader. You know, I don't think I was ever I don't know if I ever had a crush on. I love Full House, but I don't think DJ Tanner was a big crush of mine. I like the older girls, like Kelly Kapowski. And who was my other crush? Kelly Kapowski was my big one. You know, later, like in junior high, it was or probably into high school, Topanga. Because the first couple of years of Boy Meets World, Topanga wasn't Topanga. Like she wasn't Topanga until high school. Which that sounds really dirty, but remember that we're talking about me in high school, not anyway. Topanga, like the first couple years, like because we were the same age. So like in junior high, she was like the nerdy, weird Topanga. And then in high school, she became like the cool, hot Topanga. Which again, that sounds really dirty, but again, relativity speaking. So I think Topanga was more of a later crush for me as opposed to Kelly Kapowski, where it was earlier for me. Indeed, I probably had a thing for DJ Tanner, but not as much as Kelly Kapowski. Let's see. Make sure mom has plans to go live for questions from the couch people. So yeah. So we're gonna play that by ear. So we don't have anything else to do, and with the weather, if my mom can make it, I did buy a game last night. I bought. I can share this. So where is it at? We're not. We're not doing like a Christmas gift exchange this year because we have this like big house renovation coming up. So it's like we need to save our money since we're way over budget. But I did pick up some things, some small things, and I figured instead of just sitting around drinking beer and staring at our phones, let's play a game. So I got this. It's called 5-Second Rule. Round 2, uncensored. So basically, it says it seems easy to name 3 things you nibble, but can you do it without getting tongue-tied and flustered? You know, we could probably play this on Hobby Evolution. If we get bored and don't have a topic, I might bring this down. Everyone's watching you wondering what exactly you like to nibble, and time is twisting down. You only have 5 seconds to dig into the smutty corner of your mind and just spit it out. So I don't like reading. They need new like writers for some of these games because I looked at a bunch of these types of games I was at Target. I was waiting for my haircut, which the wait at Great Clips was over 2 hours. So I ran to the post office. I went to the antique mall, the new one that opened up. That one of my dealers has a really nice setup, and he's got some things in there. It's like, man, bring these to the card show anyway. And then I still had time, so I went to Goodwill. I still had like an hour to burn, so I went to Target. And so I was reading a bunch of these games because I still had time to burn. But the writing, it's like, if you read that and it's like, I don't care. This game doesn't sound exciting, but it does down here. It shows like what the actual question. So name 3, and I don't know if you actually have 5 seconds. 5 seconds is not a lot of time. But it gives you like a timer, and it's not like a hourglass. It's one of those things. Name 3 ways a burp can go wrong. And I'm like, ooh, you could puke. You could like sneeze at the same time, and that's kind of gross. Time's up. Name 3 Karens, and I'm like, okay, this has got to be. It can't be like my friend Scott's Aunt Karen. It's got to be like Karen Carpenter. There's a throwback. There's an Uncle Rich will know Karen Carpenter. but I don't know other Karens. Like Karen's not a popular like celebrity name anymore. Time's up. Point to 3 places sand gets stuck after a trip to the beach. Oh man, toes, butt crack, shoes. That's easy. Because man, there's nothing worse than you've got sand in your freaking shoes. And and most people are like, why are you wearing shoes on the beach? I wear shoes. I'm a shoe guy. I hate bare feet. I hate feet. I wear socks all the time. I cannot walk around my house in bare feet. I just can't do it. I've got to have socks on. I've got to wear shoes to the beach. I don't wear flip-flops. I think they're disgusting. I do wear boat shoes. Like if I'm at the beach, sometimes in the summer, I'll wear some boat shoes. But if you wear boat shoes on the beach, you've got sand for freaking 3 years. Anyway, back to the chat. So we'll play a little 5-second rule with mom and yeah, we'll play it by ear. I'll probably tweet out, hey, is anybody around? If you're tired of your family on Christmas night, I'm going live. My mom's going to be with us. My wife said she would also join in since my wife skipped the Couch People Christmas party and went to see the Temptations with her mom. So she said she would join in as well. Let's see. Paige and Dee Bean says, we just pulled up to school drop off and the principal is on the edge of the roof. That's right. Edge of the roof, dressed in full elf gear with her legs dangling off the roof. Should I call the police? That's funny. And probably not what you were expecting at school drop off. I'd like to ask, if you're still here, Andrew, like on Facebook, I see like school drop off, like horror stories. What is it with the school drop off line? Like I've got like many different friends, not like the same person complaining day after day, but like many different, and it's not like every day, but it's like today there'll be somebody complaining about the line. And then it's like 2 weeks go by and somebody else on my friends list complains about something that happened in the school drop off line. What is it? Like, is it that? I guess there is logistics involved, and people like when logistics are involved, people like lose their heads and minds and thinking. Like a roundabout, like people like when they approach a roundabout, they like just totally forget how to drive with a little common sense. Let's see. Jenny says, post the Jordan Love cards at what you'd want for them if Rodgers was out. Then they're already listed. You won't miss the rush. You know, that's a great point that Jenny makes. If you're listing on eBay, and if it's like a speculation play, I did this with NBA Hoops premium stock back when basketball was on fire, and I think the premium stock sets were selling for I think like retail was like $150 for these sets. And the first set I ripped, I think I bought like 10, and then I bought lots of them, like common lot. And I mean, I made 5-6x my money on these back in the day. And I think this was November 2020. This was like in the heat of COVID. But that's what I was doing with a lot of the rookies, and I would sell them. If somebody, because this was still when you could speculate in basketball, and if Lugu Dort scored 40 points, boom, you're going to get $15 for his premium stock rookie, where now it's $1.50 card. But I still have a bunch in my eBay store, and every once in a while I'll have somebody watch one of those, and it's like a random guy who's fizzled in the last 2 years, and it's listed for $10, and it's like, okay, this is $1.50 card now, go revise, boom. So yeah, sometimes I forget, and it goes the opposite way, where it's like, now why is this card still listed? I'm sure it's $1.50 in my store. Oh no, it's $15. We need to get that updated. But yeah, that is actually a really good strategy, especially when you're trying to make speculative plays, like a potential future starting quarterback. Like, I'm going to list this. I'm not going to sell it at $2.50. The market says it's worth $2 right now, but I bought this for $1, speculating it's going to be $5 to $10. I'm going to list it for $7.50. And on his ascent, maybe it ends up being a $15 card and I have it listed for $750, but I'm going to hit that a cent, but maybe it tops out at $5 and I might sell it for $750. Might have to go back in 3 years and update the price. But yeah, that is a good strategy. Ted's with us. What's up, Ted? James says, any idea on the next show? I miss your quarter boxes. James, I was, you must not have made it to Saturday's show. So my most recent show was this past Saturday, and I did have my quarter boxes out. Oh, James, are you my guy in Rockford? I think you're my guy in Rockford. So I don't know. The Rockford promoters have not announced a schedule yet for next year. And they're still trying to hammer down dates and a venue, in fact. So my next show that I'll be setting up at is probably my show in Madison on January 21st. That'll be my next show. That'll be my next show that I attend. Will be the Madison card show, unless the Rockford show pops up on the 14th or the 7th. Probably won't be the 7th because I think that's Oak Creek. But yeah, January 21st will be my next show that I'll set up, unless there's a show in Rockford on the 14th. So I do not know. Outside of that, what my schedule will be, because that's the only other shows I set up at are besides mine, and I just recently started setting back up in Madison, Janesville, and Rockford, and those schedules have not been released. Brian says depends on the temp of the water when thrown. Just standard tap water, cold tap water. Good morning, Red Light 34. What's up? Listen to you from the crane. Very cool. Let's see. Jenny says some of our drivers started at 2 a.m. to push mounds further and load into dump trucks to move because we literally are running out of space to put snow. It snowed 5 days last week. That stinks. We had perfect timing for our snow because we got like 6 inches two weeks ago. And then we had a warm up and it all melted. And the last day of like the above, like the 40-degree weather was whatever day it was that it snowed again. So it like was completely, our 6 inches was completely melted away. And then we got dumped on another, 4 inches this past week. And then we've been hit with like small, like spurts of 1 inch here, half an inch there. So we don't have that problem of piles of snow. Paige and Deanie Bean has never heard of a French toast storm. I know. I think it's brilliant. It's the baseball solstice. Speaking of halfway points, we are at the shortest day of the year today. Tomorrow, our days start getting longer by seconds. Absolutely. I dropped that knowledge, and I think maybe my wife wasn't thinking. Again, another tidbit that she probably doesn't want me to share. And I said, it's the December 22nd or 21st. I always get the days mixed up. It's the shortest day of the year. And then the days start getting longer. And she's like, no, and I'm like, yeah, December 21st or 2nd, whatever it is, days get longer from December 22nd through June 21st, whatever the summer solstice. And then they start getting shorter. And she was mind blown for a second. Then I think it kind of like, oh yeah, that is right. Royals 417, 100 days until opening day. Yes. Soon to be in double digits. Good morning, Hobby World. Herman in the house. Mrs. Royals 417 and I have our 26th anniversary today. Happy anniversary. Wow, that's awesome. What was I doing 26 years ago today? I would have been on winter break. What was 26 years ago today? 1996. So 96, 97, I would have been a sophomore in high school. I would have been on break. Let's see. I might have been at this time delivering newspapers. Let's see. Wait. No, I was a sophomore in high school. I was not delivering papers. I might have been working at the grocery store. when did I start at the grocery? I think I started working at the grocery store the summer before my sophomore year, I think, because I had a paper route my freshman year, and then I think my sophomore year I was bagging groceries at the IGA. So it's 7:42 a.m. on December 21st, 1996. I might have been bagging groceries at the IGA. Actually, I was probably sleeping because I probably wasn't working the early shift. Let's see. Congrats to Matt. Franco Harris just passed away. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. Diego, what's up, Diego? Good morning to you. Have a great Wednesday. Mark says, loved the Carpenters. Karen had such a beautiful voice. Rest in peace to Franco Harris. Man, that's terrible. Number 32 is going to be retired this weekend. What? Oh my God. Let's see. If Mama Cass gave Karen Carpenter his sandwich, they would both be alive today. Sorry for the bad 70s joke. Let's see. That is a bad 70s joke. Let's see. It looks like Franco Harris was 72. Andrew says, talking about the school drop-off line, it's pretty organized. There's only been a few instances where there was a car parked in at a parking lot spot and the cars in the drop-off were in her way. Let's see. Paige and Dee Bean adds, pickup is a breeze. We all park and stand in line to sign out the kids. Our school is small, so not too many people losing their minds. That's good. You want to see parents go crazy? Just change the drop-off and pickup procedures. Yes. And I think that's probably one of the complaints. Oh my God, they changed the process and it's bad. People like logistic. Oh my gosh. When change happens, people go nuts and lose their mind. James is my Rockford guy. Awesome. I should have known that. I apologize. Zach and Porter says the story you just told on flipping basketball makes me feel less bad about poking fun at your steak NBA downs. Steak NBA downs. Zach's keyboard is poking fun at your steak NBA downs. Paige and Deanie Bean says Kevin McAllister collapses Buzz's shelf in Home Alone after the shelf crashes and debris everywhere. What baseball card is shown? I did not do my homework. I did not look that up. I do not know. John says NFL Hall of Fame just showed his bust on their Twitter page yesterday. Strange coincidence. Stale NBA slabs. Yes, the stale NBA slabs that I ended up selling for $5 a piece. But I only paid like $12 for them, $12 each. Fred McGriff, 89 Fleer. Oh, Fred McGriff. 26 years ago, we moved into our new house, baseball room in its infancy for Mark. So what? That's about all I had for today. Not even an hour. I'm failing you. 89 Fleer, Fred McGriff from Buzz's shelf. Aha. Yeah. So programming note for this week. Today's trash day, so it's Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, we'll be live at 7 a.m. Friday is the free-for-all. It's also Festivus Friday. So I will air my grievances on signs, PSA, sport lots, PPP, which is kind of like, I think I've already shared my opinions on that. Nobody reads signs. So double dose of signs in my airing of the grievances. So that's Friday. Festivus, we'll air our grievances. Saturday is Christmas Eve. I will go live Saturday morning. Since it's Saturday, it's probably going to be, it's a wild card time slot, maybe between 8 and 9 a.m. Friday or Saturday. Christmas is Sunday. I will not go live on Christmas morning. So no show on Christmas morning. And then Monday morning back at it, 7 a.m. on, actually, you know what? The day after Christmas, I'll probably treat it as a weekend. So Boxing Day on Monday, I'll probably go live at like 8 or 8:30 Central Time on Monday. Also, and we'll play it by ear because it depends if my mom makes it, travels. because of Snowmageddon that's coming, we'll go live and we'll do just you can meet my mom. Maybe we'll dig out in after I cut this off, I'll go find some of my report cards and we can talk about Bad School Bo. And quiz my mom on what the teacher said about me at parent teacher conferences. That'll be fun. A little self-deprecation. So we'll do that. If I have enough interest, like, yes, I'll watch live, because if nobody can watch live, then it's just not going to be fun. Although I can find some content to fill time if nobody's in the live stream. So we'll do that either Christmas Eve night or Christmas night. Just looking at the forecast, I don't know if my mom will make it up on Saturday because of the blowing snow. So she might come up on Christmas morning if she can make it. So maybe we will do it on Christmas night. So we'll play that by ear. Harlan, what's happening? Just wrapping things up this morning. So that's what I had for today. My eBay store, again, I added some 77 Topps commons. I added some random like autographs and stuff. I've got some more shipping. I'm not as, I think I'm less than 200 items to ship at the moment. The last several days I've been at over 200 each day to start the morning. So yesterday was down, but I had some decent sales. I had a 30 card order come in. So I surpassed my goal. I came just short on Monday, surpassed my goal Sunday, came just short on Saturday, killed it on Friday, killed it on Thursday, killed it on Wednesday last week, just shy on Tuesday, and surpassed it last Monday. So it's kind of weird. My graph, what are the days? So my lowest days of December so far, and actually that was November. So my lowest days in December, that was November. So actually, yeah, December's looking, the end of November ended on a, well, it's really crazy how November ended. Like the third week in November was like crazy. And then the last week of November sucked. And then December has been steady throughout. Let's see, the lowest December sales days was a Sunday. See, a Sunday, a Tuesday, a Sunday, and that was a higher day. Let's see, that Thursday, Sunday. So two of my lowest sales days in December have been Sundays. That's kind of strange. This past Sunday was decent because I had some auctions that were ending. So that's what I had for today. Thanks for tuning in. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Appreciate great chat as always. If you're in the Midwest, upper Midwest, safe travels. I think today will be okay, but tomorrow will suck. So stay safe, stay warm, like, subscribe, shop my eBay store, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.